Katie Lang is here. She first burst onto the music scene in the 1980s as a torch and twang singer. After years of winning acceptance as a country singer, she crossed musical boundaries with her Grammy Award-winning duet with the late Roy Orbison and followed with the enormously successful album Ingenue. Her latest CD is Drag. Here it is. Look at that. Tell me about this album, because the idea is all of these songs have to do with smoking.
With smoking, yeah. Well, it's kind of a convoluted idea. It started off with my love for Peggy Lee's Don't Smoke in Bed. And I have previously recorded cigarette songs, Two Cigarettes in an Ashtray by Patsy Cline, down to My Last Cigarette on Shadowland. And I realized that I had this weird, strange affiliation with cigarette songs, or attraction to them. Yeah. And I was listening to my Les Paul and Mary Ford collection, and there was Smoke Rings again. And I went, wow, there's something to these cigarette songs for me. And I think that it's something to do with the fact that cigarettes have been used in art and film to sort of emote different, sort of the whole spectrum of emotion, from glamour to sophistication to solitude to rebellion to self-destructive behavior. And I guess because it's so topical right now, as an artist, I wanted to, in a way, musically document what was happening. Yeah. You know, what's happening in tobacco wars lately.
Because at first glance you may say she's singing about smoking because she likes smoking, but in fact you're singing about smoking in a different way because, A, you like the songs about smoking. Mainly it's the sound of those songs. Right.
Well, yeah, I'm a non-smoker. In a way, I sort of render it down to the similarity of being a photographer and doing a photo documentation of what's happening. It's a perspective on smoking and taking songs that have been using cigarettes as a common theme from 70 years, so from 1935 to 1997, and seeing how the perspectives have changed towards cigarette smoking.
Was it hard coming to an album, because the album that you did before this was All You Can Eat, which you weren't thrilled with?
I'm thrilled with it. the public wasn't
thrilled with it.
Some people weren't thrilled with it. I'm thrilled with it.
You liked it?
Yeah, I love that record.
But the response was not what you thought it might be at the time, because at the time it came out, everybody was writing about you.
Yeah. I think that the music business is unpredictable. There's no surefire method. There's no formula, and certainly, every record, every Picasso painting isn't your favorite. No. Art is a totally subjective thing.
As somebody, when we did a tour of the Picasso exhibition, the most recent one held at MoMA, the curator said every painting that Picasso painted was not a masterpiece. Right. In fact, he painted some very bad paintings.
Right, but were probably huge transitional paintings for him, which All You Can Eat was for me. It was an emotional record that really allowed me to do drag. I mean, each record is a cog. Each is a link in the chain. Each record bookmarks the other record. So they're all very important.
The reason I brought it up was in a sense of saying, did you come to this sort of coming off of this experience? Did you come to this because there was an evolution from here to drag?
Yeah, it was. It was definitely. I think. I was sort of, All You Can Eat was kind of a sort of a pop interpretation. Yeah. And I guess with pop as much as country, I realized I don't belong in a genre necessarily. I don't fit categories easily, and I don't feel comfortable there. So I guess that was my last attempt at being pop.
Where are you now then?
I don't know.
And don't want to be categorized?
I guess it's fine to be categorized by an individual listener, but in terms of the general media or the general music industry, I don't want to be categorized, because I think it's limiting. And music to me is a huge palette of color, and to me it's about using all the colors.
Let me come back to this album, and we'll talk more. The critics love it. I mean, they have these systems in which they rate it. I mean, Stephen Holden in the New York Times and other people, 3.5 out of 4, which is pretty good. There is a sense also that they think this is certainly quieter than this, right? Was there, how do you see doing this in terms of what you wanted to say musically, beyond the affection for the songs, beyond the interpretation as to where you were?
Well, I always want to mature as a vocalist. So to me, it's about, my largest aspiration as a vocalist is to gain power through, I guess, lack of control, through emotion rather than volume, through subtlety, through subtext and understanding of the material. And, you know, I think that's something that I will want to deliver more and more of as I get older.
Do you get the same charge from interpreting as you do from something you've written?
It's a completely different charge. It's a completely different charge. I find that when you record something that you write, you're so engrossed, you're so entrenched in the emotion of it that you really don't have the same perspective as you do when you listen to something and read something that someone else has written. You have a more objective sense of what a song is, but when you write it, it's innate, you know, it came from your experience, it came from your emotions, so you're sort of looking out from it, from the core of it, rather than from the top of it.
Yeah. Patsy Cline, Peggy Lee, both speak to you. Mm-hmm. Different ways. Mm-hmm. One you think of as a kind of sultry. Mm-hmm. The other was kind of hard and gritty and what?
Well, Patsy to me had a sense of humor. She had an honesty, aggression, like a beautiful aggression, a womanly aggression. Not aggression maybe isn't the right word, but a confidence that women didn't display much in the early 50s in country music especially. And that was something that I was very attracted to.
How did you discover her?
I was actually doing a musical theater in Edmonton, Alberta at the time called Country Chorale, where I played a character that was basically emulating Patsy Cline, and I was given a bunch of Patsy Cline records, and I got lost in them, listened to them over and over, and I went, oh my God. Then the vision came to cut off my hair and wear the cut-off cowboy boots and to do country punk.
What was it about her, other than the aggression, other than the fact that there was a sense of she was different? Mm-hmm. What else?
Her voice.
The voice.
The honesty, the vulnerability, the passion. That's basically what I look for in a singer. It's not technical. It's more emotional and conviction. And
she changed you how? Other than cut-off boots and deciding the kinds of songs you wanted to...
She galvanized me into action. She really did. I was a performance artist. I was painting. I was doing performance art, doing industrial punk music in galleries, at gallery installations. And I was like dead set against a commercial music career because I thought it was the devil. And when I heard Patsy Cline, I had a vision of how I could do music. And love it and be alternative, but still be mainstream. Taking the very most mainstream form of music there is in America.
And how did the country world react to you?
Well, I think at first they were in shock. I mean, there was actually kind of a wave of country punk happening. There was Rank and File and early Dwight Yoakam, the Lone Justice, people like that. There was like a wave of country happening at that time. So. They were intrigued with what we were doing, and I think they liked that we were sort of bringing a new audience, you know, turning a new audience onto country music. But in no way did they want to marry me.
No, they weren't.
No, they weren't ready to take responsibility for my actions.
I can't imagine one.
No.
The Roy Orbison came along and Crying, that duet. What did that do?
Well, I often refer to Roy as the Midas to my career. Everything that I ever did that related to Roy Orbison turned out to be nothing but positive. Crying was the biggest treasure I've ever inherited. To have a song like that given to you by the legend who sang it is an unbelievable honor, and it to this day. That's why I've never recorded it, I've never released it, because it's too special, you know? In a way I want to I can't believe it's mine, you know? Yeah. And it's every night I sing it, I think of Roy, so it's...
Do you sing it every performance?
Yeah, generally.
You have to?
I do for my audience, yeah. I do.
When you think of your audience, I mean, who do you think they are? Because people will say, if you go to Soho in New York, they're full of K.D. Lang devotees, urban sophisticates. On the other hand, you go other parts of the country, and there's same kind of enthusiasm. Who do you see?
Well, it's a huge cross-section of people, and that's always been my goal, is to have an audience that has people who are into country music, who are into my country music, people who are into my me for this, for that, for this, for that, and hopefully the overall sense of who I am, which is a vocalist. So I love having a diverse audience. I think it adds to my direction, my, you know, what I'm able to do.
Have you left country?
No, I haven't. I mean, I've left the industry. Yeah, I've left the.
But in your head and in terms of what you want to do, musically?
Never. I mean, people ask, "Are you going to make another country record?" And it depends on my mood at that moment. I'll say no or yes, but I wouldn't doubt if there's another country record in me. I love country music.
Because
something happens. Something happens to me emotionally. The romantic ideal of what country is and where it puts you. I mean, it's very thematic. It's very theatrical. It's very I'm looking for a word, but it can just completely change your attitude. You know, just get in a car and turn on country music and...
Yeah, I grew up in country music. Ingenue made it for you. It came at a time... It came out after you had come out in that Advocate interview?
Simultaneous.
At the same time, yeah. What did it do for you?
Well, it did a lot of things, both positive and negative. Obviously, it was my biggest selling record to date.
1.3 million or 4 or something.
Yeah, and it gave me my one and only hit.
Yeah.
It taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about the music business. It taught me a lot about fame and fortune, and it taught me a lot.
Let me just go through that. What did it tell you about? It taught you what about the music business? That
how difficult it is, what it means, how unpredictable it is, what it takes to have a hit. I mean, it's not just about the music. And
it's about marketing.
It's about marketing. It's about
and
shaking hands.
You accept that?
No, I don't accept it. I mean, it's... do I accept it? I accept it on a business level. Do I accept it on a personal, emotional level? No, I don't. Because music should transcend all that to me. But
you should just be able to do the music and everything else would take care of itself.
Yeah.
But you can't. Because
you can't, no.
Because it needs...
Yeah. Well, you know, I've come to a point, and one thing that Ingenue did for me, and in succession, even Cowgirls and All You Can Eat, really gave me a balance. It made me reevaluate and reprioritize what was important to me in terms of music in my career. And what it does is it just facilitates what I love to do for a living, which is singing. So you know, so I balance playing the game so I can make music.
So you can do what you want to do.
Exactly.
And everybody else does.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, everybody does.
Everybody does, yeah.
You know, and it's the price you pay, in a sense.
Yeah, it is.
To exist the way. You can't just go off and play for the birds in the ocean.
Well, you can, but it's not exactly what I want.
and you won't have the opportunity to do all the other things you want to do.
Right.
I want to talk about acting in a minute, but let me just stay with, coming out in '92 was no big deal for you, or was a big deal?
Oh, it was an incredibly big deal. I mean, I always lived out. I came from a family who...
Nobody was surprised who knew you.
No, I came out to my mother when I was 17. I have siblings who are gay as well. So.
All of them, or...?
No, a couple of them. So I came from a very liberal, very accepting, very supportive family, so I was always out. But in terms of making it official publicly, it was a very big deal because no one had really done it at the time, and you know, we didn't know what was going to happen, but due to the pressure from AIDS and homophobia on the rise, and a lot of pressure from sort of the gay coalitions that were outing people, and getting...
Did you fear outing?
I did fear outing, yeah. But I not so much from the gay community as I did from the National Enquirer or the tabloids, you know. And I really felt like if I took control and I took responsibility and just laid it on the table, then that it would resolve all sorts of unspoken pressure that existed at the time. So,
did it do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the most emancipating feeling. It was completely liberating, and I recommend it for those who are ready.
Yeah, no more pretense at all.
No.
Nothing unspoken.
No. And it actually, the level of intimacy in the audience was incredible after that. Because
by homosexuals and heterosexuals?
Everybody, because it's just the truth. You're living in truth, and that's...
Did it affect your music?
Yes, I think it did affect my music. In terms of my writing, I think that it affects every aspect of your life, just because you remove barriers and that exist. Like even in an interview situation or a writing situation, you would always write in a sort of a cryptic way around sexual innuendos or whatever. You're just kind of skirting around the issues.
Yeah.
But now there's nothing. I mean, I can be open and vulnerable and real and honest, and you know, I know there's people out there that don't understand my culture or my lifestyle, but that's fair. I think it's a culture that's misunderstood, and just like a lot of cultures in the world today, and it's a matter of education. Ellen
is glad that she did it, because you were in that coming out episode. Yeah, it's worked out for her.
I think so. I think that she's taking some well-deserved time off and laying a bit low with it right now, which I think is smart.
Yeah, I mean, after that White House thing in Washington, it was like everybody's front page story. Look, this cover. Herbert was a photographer. Your idea, his idea to get Cindy. Created, I mean, this was everywhere, published everywhere. You like it?
I love it.
Love it?
I love it. I love it.
What is it you love about it?
Well,
the smile on your face? Or?
Well, can you blame me? I mean, it was one of the best days at work I've ever had. But
why?
Turn. Why?
Because she's that gorgeous.
She's beautiful and she's nice, and it was fun. I mean, you know, here we're just having fun. We were making art, you know.
Yeah.
I think sometimes that we forget when we're artists and liberals that we do things that are just normal to us, but then when they get out into the mainstream, they're controversial. But I think that it was good, because I think that anything, I mean, although contrary to popular belief, I don't like controversy, but I like...
Contrary to popular belief, you don't like controversy?
I don't like controversy. I like pushing the envelope of what's accepted, but I don't like...
But you can't push the envelope without causing some degree of discussion and debate and controversy.
No, but I think it's an artist's
job. So you want to push the envelope without having anybody...
Right.
Object.
Well, yeah, exactly. Just accept it.
Yeah, just...
It's art. No, I think an artist's job is to be provocative, but I think that it has to stem from a place of integrity. I think it has to be something that you feel passionate about, and something that's real to you. This has got to be a great time for you. Why? Well, because you're acting, which is something you wanted to do. I mean, you've done it some time ago. Yeah. And then The Last Dawn, and then Ellen. Right. And so it gives you another avenue of expression. Yeah. You've gone through the whole sort of self. In a sense, you're free, in a sense, to be who you are, and you've got an album out that's getting great reviews. I mean, what's there to complain about, Katie? There's nothing to complain about. There really isn't. I have to say that there's nothing to complain about. You have a love affair? I mean, yes? Yes. You're in a relationship you like? I'm in a relationship I love. Yeah. Yeah. Things are very, very good for me right now. Yeah, I feel very creative. I feel, you know, I think it's good to get knocked around a little bit sometimes. I think it's good to rise from the fire. It doesn't feel good at the time, though. No, but it's a good opportunity to rejuvenate your motivation. You know, to see that hill and go climb it. Yeah. Is being on stage and singing with an audience that is approving and resonating with your work the best moment? Absolutely. It's quintessential existence for me. It's my total it's exactly what I was here to do. No, but the audience helps, but truly next best thing to it's not just the audience, it's not just the music, it's the zen of the moment. It's where everything clicks into that magical moment, and this sound is coming out of your body. I mean, it comes out of your body. It comes out of my chest, out of my throat, and my whole body shakes. And I don't know where it comes from. I mean, you know, obviously from God, but I mean, it's an amazing feeling.
From God?
From God, yes.
Yeah. You wanted to do this a long time. I mean, you talked about how you grew into music, but growing up with your mom, your dad left home when you were pretty young.
12.
And your mom did, Audrey?
Audrey.
Did a heck of a job.
Well, they both did. I mean, my dad left at an inopportune time, but my mother was ultimately supportive in terms of getting us to cultural events, educating us.
Right? This is in Alberta.
This is in Alberta. She drove 60 miles after teaching all day, 60 miles through the hellish Canadian winters to teach us piano, and 60 miles back every week.
Let's talk about some of these songs on this album.
All right.
Don't Smoke in Bed, Peggy Lee. It says it all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
classic.
Classic song.
The Air That I Breathe.
To me, it's sort of the emotional summation of the record. It's sort of the post love-making cigarette replacement. Just listen to this song rather than smoke a cigarette.
All right. And so this will be the substitute for smoking a cigarette
exactly.
after it's been great.
Yeah.
All right.
Or terrible.
Oh, terrible.
you can.
You need something either way. Smoke Dreams. Who did that?
Joe Stafford.
Oh, Joe Stafford.
Joe Stafford, yeah. Beautiful little song. That's kind of the more... See, the thing about the album is it has the glamorous side of smoking, but it also has the dark side, which is like mild addiction and last cigarette. Because I didn't want to make a political statement on smoking itself, from my point of view. I really just wanted to...
You didn't want to say anything...
positive or negative. I wanted to display it all.
Because you didn't want to get involved in a controversy about that, or you didn't want to look like you want to crusade, you just wanted...
I'm not on a crusade, no. I don't want to make a judgment on smoking. I just wanted to just offer it.
Yeah. You don't smoke. Do you drink?
Yeah, I drink, yeah.
You do drink a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're vegetarian.
I'm a vegetarian, yeah.
So you take care of that body.
I try.
My Old Addiction.
Unbelievable song. Intense lyrics. Written by David Wilcox.
Yeah.
Really explores the surrender to an addiction, and just sort of romancing the addiction, but surrendering to it. And I think it was originally called Chet Baker's Unsung Swan Song.
Yeah.
And was written about Chet's last thoughts before he jumped out of the window in Amsterdam. So it's kind of a sad song.
Life is Like a Cigarette.
Love is like that was written in 1935.
By?
I don't know who wrote it.
Who sang it?
Well, a lot of people sang it. I learned it from Leslie Hutch.
Yeah.
Yeah, an old jazz singer.
Here is you at Evening in Pops singing Don't Smoke in Bed. Listen to this. You love that night. Evening in Pops.
I did.
Yeah.
I really love the whole thing of being my favorite suit of all time is a tuxedo, tails. It's all about tails for me.
Just get dressed up.
I could wear tails every day if I didn't look ridiculous.
Now look at this album cover too. I mean, you got one of my suits.
I know. I borrowed that from you. You don't know that.
Stole it right out of my closet, didn't
you?
The movie business. You like this acting thing?
I do. I find it extremely challenging. Although I find there is a relationship or similarities between singing and acting. Like it's the same sort of emotional reservoir.
Yeah. You got to reach down and find something to deliver.
Yeah, but it's very different in approach, and it's good. It's very challenging, and I'm really interested in delving into it. It's something I'm really interested in pursuing.
And how will you do that? Just simply let it be?
Yeah, I'm taking...
Because you did the music for Gus Van Sant's...
Even Cowgirls Get
the Blues.
Yeah. There's a different thing. I'm studying with an acting coach in L.A., which is really, I find... Well, before Ingenue, I did Salmonberries, which was a feature film by Percy Adlon. And before Drag, I studied with an acting coach. And I really think that there's really something there to exercising the spectrum of emotion in acting and then doing singing, because in a way it's like I was telling you, it's creating a subtext, understanding the lyrics and understanding the character so well that when you're doing all that work prior to getting into the studio. When you get into the studio, it's just an emotional release.
Yeah. The CD is called Drag, K.D. Lang. It's always great to have you here. Much success.
Thank you.
Are you going to take this on tour or not?
There's a very good chance of that.
You'll be on tour?
Yeah.
When, next summer or the Warner Brothers executives are
I can hear them laughing because it's been a struggle. Yes.
You've been resisting.
Yes.
They won.
They're trying to win. Oh. They're trying to win. Still at the negotiation
table. So you're hanging tough
table.
still?
I love touring. There's nothing I love more.
You got to convince them of that.
No, they know that.
No, but why aren't you touring then?
It's a lot of work, and I just finished touring, and it's a lot of work. And the way I like to tour is to take all the people that played on the record, and I never make money. And it's like it's all this work and no money, and it's hard. But I never get played on the darn radio, which even makes it harder.
Why not?
Because I don't fit any format. You know, every time I put out a record, it's a different format, and you know, I'm not 25. I'm not quite as cute as Jewel, but...
Again, Drag is the album. K.D. Lang, it's always great to have you here, as I said, to come back anytime.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Of all the ideas cooked up to make life easier in the kitchen, there's one simple idea that nobody has improved on. Of course, if another idea came along that was as good, it would probably be ours, too. Reynolds Wrap and Reynolds Plastic Wrap. Make it right from the start.
Next time on Cheers.
Hey, Sam, this guy never came back for his coat.
Probably saw Diane sniffing it.
When a mysterious coat is left at the bar, Diane picks a pocket full of romantic fantasies.
You can't tell what a guy's like by what he's got in his pockets.
What do you have in your pockets?
Why don't you check it out yourself and you tell me?
And when she makes a blind date, will he be a prince or...
Jojo, the dog-faced boy?
You'll see. Next time on Cheers.
Cheers. Twice weeknights following the 6 and 10 o'clock editions.
Puppies for Profit, tonight at 10.
Perfect strangers and head of the class won't be seen tonight.
Ah! We've been robbed!
Now stay tuned for an ABC holiday treat.
Can you say Oshkosh Bagosh?
I want him to.
Oh, okay, sure.
Did you say that? Say Oshkosh Bagosh. No. I will try to. Oshkosh Bagosh. Oshkosh.
Oshkosh Bagosh. Kids' clothes as tough as our name.
I feel like I want to be feeling. Look at the smile on my lips. I've got that M&M's feeling right at my fingertips. So carefree, they fit any plan. Milk chocolate melts in your mouth, not in your hand. You wanna grab on to that M&M's feeling.
Grown-ups, gosh, 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 'cause kids look good in them. Kids keep wearing Oshkosh Bagosh, 'cause they keep up with kids. They keep up, Oshkosh keep up, Bagosh. They keep up with kids. Kids. Oshkosh Bagosh.
You look a lot like a puppet I saw once. Name was Pistachio.
That's Pinocchio.
It's all new. All wonderful. All Pinocchio.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Filmation's Pinocchio and the Emperor of the Night.
I'm a real live boy again.
Coming this Christmas. And that's no lie. Rated G.
A double pleasure's waiting for you. A double pleasure for double mint gum. A double great feeling, making you realize double is the one for you. Double fresh, double smooth, double delicious to chew. A double pleasure is waiting for you. Double with gum. A double pleasure is waiting for you. Double with gum.
What can we leave for Santa?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That's great.
We sprinkle cinnamon and sugar for a homemade taste.
Part of this complete breakfast.
Happy holidays from Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Santa Bear Express.
It's Santa Bear, Miss Bear, and their airplane. You could win all three. Look for a winning card in specially marked boxes of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Or to enter free, write Box 5464, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
We won!
On the Disney Sunday movie,
He's a solid 17-year-old state-of-the-art all-American boy.
a scientist has just come up with his greatest invention.
Hi, Dad.
Alan Thicke creates the ultimate kid, but he's not quite human someday.
Hey, guys, shouldn't be giving me a hard time. I mean, I may not be so big now.
But I'm drinking milk, because in these years I'm growing faster than I ever will again. And I need milk's calcium for bones.
And protein for muscle, more now than I ever did as a kid. In fact,
This is how I'm gonna look when I'm 19. I don't forget a name or face. I'll probably have forgiven you guys by then.
But you never can tell.
Milk, it does a body good.
Ooh, something for Santa.
Look what I brought you, Santa. Holiday chocolate.
Oh, they're red and green.
Mom brought them home for the family. But I saved them back for you.
Holidays chocolates. Delicious milk chocolate in red and green shells.
Now about my list.
There's nothing like holidays for your holidays from the makers of M&M's chocolate candies.
More?
A Muppet Family Christmas will continue in a moment.
They came in search of a miracle.
Give us a sign.
Everyone thought they were crazy,
It's the star.
but they just wanted the world to believe.
Do you know who we are?
They're the three wise men.
A different kind of Christmas carol. The Three Kings, Thursday.
Great tune, Ronald. The McDonald's Happy Meal, guys. Hamburger, soft drink,
And fries.
all regular size. I'll make a note of that.
Jumbo's flying.
When you buy McDonald's Disney Favorites Happy Meal, you could get a punch-out book, a sticker book, or a magic paint book.
And now Cinderella can go to the bar. Need a ride?
McDonald's Disney Favorites Happy Meal. You can collect all 4.
I'll be home for Christmas. You can plan on me.
May this season bring you joy, peace, and most of all, may it bring you home.
I'll be home for Christmas. Only in my dreams.
A holiday wish from Southwestern Bell Telephone.
Bad news for Michael Deaver. Details tonight.
Enjoy extra sugar-free gum.
Get extra flavor, extra fun, in extra sugar-free gum.
Extra, the only leading sugar-free gum with NutraSweet, gives you extra refreshing flavor that lasts an extra, extra, extra long time.
Extra flavor for that extra long play. Extra flavor for that extra long day. When you chew it extra, the extra fresh flavor lasts an extra, extra, extra long time.
Extra lasts extra long.
Episode 2 of the comic movie hit of the season. Bill Cosby meets the maniacal Medusa. Will she take over the world? Or will the devil-may-care bon vivant Bill Cosby save the day and still make an 8 o'clock dinner reservation?
That's all there is for dinner, Leonard.
No coffee. See the world's favorite funny man, Bill Cosby, in Leonard Part 6, an adventure in comedy. Rated PG. Leonard Part 6 starts Friday at select theaters.
I'd like to bike. I'd like to pony. What I love is my first I like pizza pie. I like macaroni. But what I love is my first
Now Sony makes small products for small people. Walkie-talkies, Walkman stereos, and cassette recorders. Specially made for kids.
I like Yoda. I like
Humongous cereal with lots of crunch.
Yes, it's indubitably.
Indubitably?
Indubitably.
Indubitably. Indubitably. Indubitably.
Delicious.
Post Crispy Critter cereal is part of a balanced breakfast.
Cha-cha-cha.
Thursday, Sledge lets his gun do the talking.
You talking to me?
Read my lips. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Sledgehammer. Then welcome in the holidays.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. You asked for it.
Spend a white Christmas with the Charmings right after Sledgehammer. Tomorrow.
I feel like I want to be feeling. Look at the smile on my lips. I've got that M&M's feeling right at my fingertips. So carefree, they fit any plan. Milk chocolate melts in your mouth, not in your hand. You wanna grab on to that M&M's feeling.
Can you say Oshkosh Bagosh?
I want him to.
Oh, okay, sure.
Did you say that? Say Oshkosh Bagosh. No. I will try to. Oshkosh Bagosh. Oshkosh,
Oshkosh Bagosh. Kids' clothes as tough as our name.
Join Julie Andrews for Christmas in the Austrian Alps with special guests Placido Domingo and John Denver. The hills are alive with Julie Andrews and the sound of Christmas. Next.
The whole family's invited to a down-home country Christmas. Join Dolly and her guests, Mac Davis and Burl Ives. And some very special surprises. 'Tis the season to be Dolly, Sunday.
From all of us to all of you, happy holidays from the Disney Sunday movie. Guys, wave.